Good morning, everybody. This is Bill Williams. Welcome to another Trahan Creek Outdoors video. Today's video is just going to be a short garden walk around. It's about a little after 9 o'clock on May the 31st, and sun up was at 6. I was up, and we've been working in the garden for a little while. So here's just a quick run around before I retreat to the house, because the garden is about to get engulfed in sunshine, and in Mississippi you don't want to be out here. So coming up next, a garden walk around. Stay tuned. Of tomato seeds started. This is a third tray, started for successional planting to keep them scattered out a little bit every 2-3 weeks, getting some in the ground till I get them all in. This will be the last batch. I think I have about 23 that have sprouted. We'll hope they'll all make it, and I've got a box coming available to start putting some of them in, and we'll just see how things go. I usually lose some of them kind of spindly looking, but a couple of them are looking pretty dadgum good. That one's actually ready. I could transplant it. Moving forward a little bit, this is my mint, spearmint actually. I just repotted this little one today, up-potted it from a small cup to a bigger cup. Ultimately, they'll go in the even bigger pots. As you can see, they're just lush and green and doing really well. Spearmint's better grown in containers. It runs everywhere. So I grow them this way, and when I'm ready to put them on the market, I can they're already potted, ready to go. So anyway, as you see with the spearmint, we do a little snipping here and there for my sun tea. You can see that in this video up here in the corner. But they branch off, is what happened there. That one branched off, as you see new shoots growing on either side. So no loss. It just reproduces and grows more. Okay, let's look over here a second. These are some onions, also started from seed. Starting onions from seed isn't something everybody does. It takes a long time to get them up big enough to do anything with, but they're coming along. I'll have, I don't know, there's probably 30 or 35 plants in there. If they all get a little bit bigger, I can set them out. All right, let's go to the main garden. Before we do that, take a little look at the rain barrel project. This 55-gallon barrel, I am emptying it and getting all the crud. These are just leaves and things like that that have gotten in there in my barrel, and I'll wash it out. It's under the roof line, so it gets water coming off the roof going in it, and so it does accumulate some trash at the bottom. But if you'll notice, my spigot is up above the bottom a couple of inches. That leaves about 5 gallons in the bottom. And so I'm not drawing off that settled down sediment. We're just cleaning the barrel out and getting it ready to set back up for the next rain, if we get one. We haven't had a rain in better than 2 weeks. So my water supply is essentially exhausted. It was a 40% chance yesterday. We didn't get any. Some more possible chances, so we'll see how that goes. Here is my 275-gallon IBC tote system. So I can store a total of 330 gallons, but this one too is at the bottom, and so I'll clean it. And we just hope for some rain pretty soon. All right, now let's go look at the garden. On my way in, we'll pass by this little herb bed. Got a few little sprigs coming up of different things, basil and things of this nature that I have planted. Maybe you can see some of the young ones coming up here and just along the way. As I say, it's been really dry, so we're not getting good germination right now. and we're just needing the rain. Okay, let's move on into the garden. Garden's not 100% clean yet. I'm still working on it, but it's a whole lot better. I've got maybe one or two more projects to do in here to spiff it up. One being fix the fence, and another one finish just some general cleanup, vines off the fence and so forth. This box is essentially empty except for some more onions growing right in there among the weeds that were also seeded. So all those onions you just saw are coming into this box. All the weeds you see have got to go out, however. This next box, bed 2, I'm emptying it. This is my salad box, and it's done well, really done well, but the heat is getting it, so it's bolting really bad, and I am not cutting anymore, I'm pulling. So as I go through, I'm just emptying the box, and I have about 5 more salads that I can pick out of here before it's all gone, and that'll get eat up pretty quick. Next box over is okra. These are small plants, but they are growing very, very rapidly. I'm not 100% sure what variety. I think this is Clemson Spineless. It's a popular variety. I've grown it a good many times. Produces really well. And Mississippi heat is made for okra. So these are going to probably overcrowd the bed. I'll probably pull a few out and separate them somewhere else just to get the spacing a little better. But for right now, they're just growing. So that's all I want them to do. All right. Here's where we had our English peas. And we planted them March 9th. It's May 31st, as I said. They are ready to come out, and I am taking them out of this bed. They have all but quit producing. There's a pea or two here and there, but really not very much. So they're dying off. They're coming out today, and I'll clean this bed back out, and we'll get something else going in here. Got a few zinnias. These are just here to attract bees when they start flowering, and they'll flower all summer. So just put a few in here just to get some bee attractant. A few radishes growing over on the side just because I ran out of pea seeds and didn't have enough to fill up the box. But anyway, the next bed over is a bed of mixed items. I planted this fairly much on a hope because the transplants were real small. I didn't think very many of them would make, and a lot of them have not made, so there's a lot of empty space in there. But a few of them are growing on up. I have some tomatoes. You see a couple of them staked in cages here. They're going to be okay, those few tomatoes. These are some peppers of different kinds, but they're still not doing very well. So I don't know how my peppers are going to work out. That one make something. I don't have very many peppers. I planted 72 seeds, and I probably have 10 or 12 seedlings left out of that are actually doing anything. But thus is life. Here in my final bed, box 6, if you're keeping count, this particular one are earlier planted tomatoes, which as you see are much further along. These are growing really well. I'm extremely happy with them. I did buy these as already transplanted tomatoes, started from seed. I usually start my own from seed, as I'm doing in the seed tray that you saw earlier. But just to get a little early start on the season, I did buy these already going along. And as I say, they're doing really well. I usually get a good tomato crop, hoping for that this year. So, still got some weeds to get out in the garden here and there and the other. Some more weed eating to do here. And then creating some rows and getting some beans and some butter beans. A couple things like that going on. So, we'll see. I just got things to do. Also, one last little thing. I picked a little rosemary yesterday. My poor little rosemary plant here is weedy, overgrown, and I have had this bush for probably 7 or 8 years, and it's just seen its better day. It's slowly dying out. So I'm starting some new cuttings, and I'm going to take this one out of this location and move the new cuttings to just outside the garden fence there, where you saw the garden fence now. But I love rosemary, and it just smells so good. If you don't grow rosemary as an herb, you really should. Last but not least is my compost area. We'll just finish up here. You have two little piles here. Both of them are working. I've got all those peas you just saw that I've pulled. They'll come back here. I've got some kitchen waste to add, and we will combine these two piles into one and have all the peas and kitchen waste on the bottom. We need to wet it down good and get these piles to working like they should. Yesterday was grass cutting day, or at least some of the grass. It's never ending here on 20 acres of land. These are lawn clippings from my front lawn, so it's a mixture of oak tree leaves as well as St. Augustine grass. Makes great for the compost, and it's already pre-mixed. So we'll shovel it into these piles as we combine them and mix them and mulch them and get them in good shape, and we'll have one huge big pile working. We'll need that in another couple of months because we've got June and July, but when August comes, by about mid-August, we will be planting some fall garden vegetables, and we need that compost to be ready by then. We should have enough time to make compost. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and if you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate your subscription. Please hit the little notification bell. For those that are subscribers, I appreciate everything you do for me and my channel. I'll see you on another video.